everyone, and welcome again to this review videos where I'm going to talk about this one. The last one I read is Blood of Elves by Andrzej Sapkowski, the first one that actually starts the Witcher saga, the long one, the big one, the real one. This book is quite different from the previous ones. If you remember, the Last Wish was the first one that had a lot of small, short stories with a beginning, an end, and a development of the story. The Sword of Destiny was kinda the same, but a bit more expanded. Okay, the stories were longer and more deep. And also the last story of the Sword of Destiny was the intro for this book. In this book we will find also a lot of references to the last two ones, the first two ones I mean. We got of course the reference to Last Wish where all the story begins in one of the chapters, to the last chapter of the Sword of Destiny that it's, as I said, the intro for this one. And this book has a problem, in my opinion, is that it's not self-concluding, okay? It starts but doesn't end. At the end of the book you have the feeling that, well, this didn't end. I need more. I don't know if that's good or bad, but well, I have the next book already, ready to start reading it. But I felt I ended this book with that feeling that it was just a chapter. It was not the book, entire book. Well, with taking this as a story at the beginning, as the beginning of that story, well, the continuation that started with the Sword of Destiny, the book is deeper. Okay, we get more to know things like the Scoia'taels, the political situation on the fictional universe of the Witcher saga, the war between Nilfgaard and the Northern Kingdoms, the politicals around the Northern Kingdoms themselves, the beginning of magic, what is the source of this magic. We got a reference for the conjunction of spheres that is the beginning of all the basis of the Witcher fantasy universe. You know, the conjunction of the spheres that led the magic into this world and after that the closing of the conjunction of the sphere, monsters kept in this world and also magic. It's really nice. It mixes those serious adult political issues, those stories with a lot of political background, very complicated, betrayals, plots, complex plots between those countries at war. It's really interesting in that part. We got the fantasy and the magic thingy, and also we got a big part of reality. I mean, we even get to treat something like the first menstruation of a girl. It's really interesting. I found it really original, and the way it takes is funny and sometimes very serious, but in other cases it's really interesting, and I totally recommend reading this book. I had a lot of fun reading it, and I enjoyed it pretty much. The thing is that this book doesn't pivot only around Geralt. Okay, it's the main character, but it's not the only one, right? It's not like other novels or things like that the main character is in every single page or whatever. No, this one we have several main characters, Not like Game of Thrones, for example, that we have several storylines that conclude with different plots. No, in this case we have a main plot. It's really interesting, but the main characters are in one side we got Geralt of Rivia, and in other hand we got Ciri, or Ciri, I don't know how do you pronounce that. I think it's Ciri in English, I don't know. Well, Cirilla, right? The child of destiny. It's really amazing the way that they treat the evolution of Ciri, for example. It's really interesting. The relationship between the characters is also very interesting. All those plots, all those details about the characters we find in the book, it's really interesting. I think it's well done. Andrzej Sapkowski, it's one of the most popular writers in Poland, and I think the reason is because the great quality of this saga. Well, if I would recommend to the question if I would recommend this video, this book, sorry, I would totally, but I would recommend to read before you start with this one, the previous two books. I would recommend you to start with The Last Wish, follow it with the Sword of Destiny, and then you can start reading this book, because the other two books are stories that will lead to this one. And if you want to read this one, I would recommend you to read it if you are going to read the other ones, because as I said, this is just the beginning of a longer saga, and you won't get an end, you won't get a conclusion of the story. It's kind of like the Harry Potter saga, right? The books have their own stories, but they don't conclude the story itself. In this case, it's pretty similar, but with an end less concluding, right? Well, this is my review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understand what I said with my Spanish pronunciation. If you want to read, to see the review in Spanish, I got it in the channel Las Cositas de Joserra. You can search for it, or even in the description I can set it. I will leave a link to buy the book in Amazon. It cost me around 10 euros, between 8 and 10 euros, I don't remember exactly how much. And I got this edition, I think it's the one for United States, right? Here it says $8 for US, yes, and 10.50 for Canada. You can see here. This is the I prefer the other edition, the European edition, the one that you saw the other videos. It's a bit bigger, the book, but it's still a pocket edition, and I enjoy a lot these ones. The Spanish version, for example, we don't have these pocket editions, and the problem with that is that the books we have are much bigger to read in a comfortable place, and of course much more expensive. These ones, I love them, these editions, because you can take them wherever you want, easily transportable, and of course very cheap. I love them, and I'm having a lot of fun with them. So I will leave in the comments below the link to purchase it if you are interested in Amazon. And just to end the video, I will remind you that Netflix is starting the production of a TV series based on the Witcher saga, the book one. Okay, Andrzej Sapkowski is involved. How it's the same, I don't know, but it's in the project as an assistant, a consultant, and it will be much more focused on the book saga than the video games. You know that the the relationship between Andrzej Sapkowski and the video games is a bit cold, nonetheless. He said to let clear that it was going to be based on the books, not on the video games. And Netflix, that are very smart, they said that of course they were going to have something to do with the book, with the video games, because the games made some basis for the fantasy, for the view of the characters, of the environments. So it would be a waste to leave that aside. And of course they want to satisfy not only the readers but the players of the games that, in my opinion, have given the books a wider reach for those. Andrzej Sapkowski said there was a lot of drama with that. He said that the game hasn't helped him to make money because the novels were already famous before the games were launched. I totally disagree with that. In fact, I am one of those that have bought the books after playing the games and not the opposite way. Anyway, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the book? What do you think about those comments from Andrzej Sapkowski, from the writer, about the the relationship between the books and the games? And well, if you have any tip, any suggestion, anything you want to tell me, let me know in the comments below. I will leave you with this scene where you have the link to subscribe to this channel and a playlist with the other reviews. I think it will be with the other reviews. Maybe I put the last videos I upload, I don't know. You have my social media links there also if you want to follow me, but I must advise you, the content I publish there, it's mostly on Spanish. And also you have my Patreon if you want to support me. From $1 a month you can help the channel to grow up. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you, of course, if you want, in the next video. Bye bye.